All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Marlon Alegria, live and direct from his home in Los Angeles. Come on, Marlon, ¿qué mutea? Una entrada ahí con piano. We're live. So I'm monitoring the signal. Thank you so much, Marlon, for accepting my invitation to be with us this evening. It is a beautiful 18th of August, 2023. And we have Marlon Alegria, who is a very accomplished professional musician from Cayo District in Belize. He came to the U.S. A while back ago. We're gonna get into those details in a minute, but Marlon, tell us a little bit about you, man. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. Well, I'm just a musician, aspiring musician. I take it as a hobby. Uh, Enjoy what I do. I guess I have a passion for music. Yeah, and I try to do the best that possible. Best for everyone.
Excellent. Yeah, get as close as possible to the mic so we can hear a little bit better.
Yeah, give me a second.
Yeah, excellent, excellent, very good. Thank you, Marlon. So this show here, it's a brand new show, and we have you as the third person who has been on our show. I had Nuru. He was our first artist and on Wayanuha, which means let's talk. Conversemos in Spanish. And Wayanuha and Garifuna, of course, let's talk. And then our second guest was the very well accomplished musician from Honduras, Mr. Mando Ballesteros. And today,
Yeah.
I wanted to dedicate this time, this hour, to you and your talent. You as a musician, you are a hidden gem. Not a lot of people know who's behind that beautiful keyboard. And so, before we get into the nitty gritty, man, I wanted to know what you've been up to. What projects are you working on right now?
So lately I've been working everything. I'm being concentrated more on the Latin side for a little bit. Still trying to get back to the usual Caribbean, the Central American thing. I've been doing a lot of Latin gigs, salsa, merengue, bachata, kind of expanding a little more, the basically the genre instead of one circle, trying to expand it everything. Yeah, and hopefully soon if we get back in, doing some paranda, doing some punta, doing some of the Central American thing.
Beautiful, beautiful, man. Um, Tell us about what was it growing up in Belize in Cayo. Tell us about a little bit of your upbringing in Cayo and how you got into music.
I guess I was always surrounded by music. When probably 4 years old, saw my grandfather from my dad's side, Mr. Alegria, Alejandro Alegria, really good guitar player. He was in his bolero eras, and so I observed him sing and play guitar at that time. And then when I started living in Cayo, it's a completely different environment. Family members, from bandos, Escobars, Landeros, just top musicians. So I was always surrounded by live music. In fact, in the early 90s, when I was living in Ranchmount in Cayo, they used to have the OBG's band, which is a bandos song guys, cousins and brothers. And that's where I kind of saw the live band type of thing. So I guess that's what kind of gave me a little, un poquito de
Right,
energía,
right.
un poquito, yeah.
You remember some of the musicians or the music that inspired you back in the days when you were growing up? What were some of the songs that you remember?
Oh, man. What kind of, well, we listened to everything basically. My grandfather basically listened to from cumbia to, soca, the calypso, uh, basically the whole genre of calypso area, and Laro and all those top musicians apart from profesionales and beside that international artists like Los Bookies and just variety of all kind of music basically. So
One thing I like about Belize is the fact that you guys are exposed to, were exposed to back in the days to a lot of international music. You had the influx of Jamaican music from the Caribbean, Trinidad music, Trinidadians with the soca, and and then you had, of course, calypso music from there too, and then you had country music from coming from the United States via the airwaves through the ocean. You will be able to pick up some of the radio stations from Texas, and I could imagine, at night you could just tune in to AM radio, and you pick up multiple radio stations from the United States. Were you one of them?
Yeah, of course. I grew up in
Were you
there.
one of them? Were
I was
you?
really young.
Uh-huh.
I was, well, yeah. We listened to. I mean, when you live in, I used to live in Corozal, which is the northern part of Belize, and you pick up all the Mexican stations, the rancheras, and all those, aside. When you live in Cayo side, you listen to, Guatemala side, you hear some marimbas, you hear, everything basically, So you grow up surrounded by that type of, a wide variety of genre, type of music, So you get to love everything, basically, everything.
Right. And growing up in Belize, were you a member of a band? Were you playing at an early age, or you were just gaining that knowledge, and then you became fully into music, fully integrated here in the United States? How was the transition?
Yeah, I was really young when I was living in Belize. I came at the age of 13 to the US. Those times, yeah, by maybe the age of 10, I sent me a little keyboard and I'm picking here and there. But I was never was part of bands. But I did observe live bands. I love that kind of atmosphere, In Orange Rock, I listened to Super Furia those days, I used to play Sundays. And yes, that passion was more, my dad used to basically take me to listen to some of the bands. That's where I got that part. And then when I moved to California in 1995, that's when I basically was exposed to live bands, and that's the time when basically the second week I was there, my father said, "Hey, you coming with me? We went to rehearsal." And yeah, he was playing Latin Lovers Band, which was consisted of my dad as a lead vocalist. We had cousins and uncles. It's a whole variety of musicians. So that's where that was my first kind of opportunity to see a live band, basically, and have the opportunity to join a band.
Excellent. So, what year did you move to California, and how old were you?
I moved 95. I was 13 years old when I moved, and basically instantly I jumped into the keyboard. I went to rehearsal and just observed my cousin playing the keyboard, and the first thing came out of my cousin's mouth was, "Hey, do you want to play keyboard?" He said, "I have an extra keyboard. I could teach you the basic stuff," and that was it basically. A couple of chords, and from right there is history. I picked up a book, and initially I self-taught. I learned on my own. Start practicing headphones and after school, and that was the beginning of what I am today.
Wow. Amazing, Marlon. This is great. Ladies and gentlemen, we're live and direct from Long Beach, California. This is Wayanuha. Let's talk. Conversemos. It is your show where we feature Garifuna artists. In this case, we have Marlon Alegria, who has been an accomplished musician who was trained in Los Angeles to play Garifuna style by Garifuna people, musicians such as Glenn Garcia, yeah, Glenn Sampson. Who else was some of the people who took the time to teach you the rhythm, the way the Garifuna would play the keyboard, rhythm, keyboard, and leads?
Yeah. So I mean, when I got initially we got one more of the variety, play the cumbia, little calypso, stuff like that. And then came the time when we started playing paranda, and that the era, when it got more to the sounds and the quality, it was the era when like Bajo, Thompson Hernandez, aka Bajo, rest in peace. He came into the band. He brought more of the Garifuna culture, that style, so we started bringing more, and then that's like early 2000 maybe. And after that, he brought in Rizan Martinez into the band, and Rizan brought that paranda style from Coolie Rebels, So at that time we were playing, but at that time we kind of like find our own way, add a little here, a little there, add our own style, and that's where as far as paranda. Punta, I grew up listening to all kind of artists, in fact, and I learned a lot of stuff from like Skull. Skull is,
Skull, okay.
Skull, he was a keyboard player. I learned from Samson. I learned from Samson. Uh, Nuru, I used to play with Nuru band, a little bit. Started doing a lot of stuff here and there. And later on, of course, I've been working a lot with Super G and basically a lot of artists. So yeah, I was always around listening to the music and stuff like that and practicing. But officially playing punta is when like with Zen and like I said, those guys came into our life.
Marlon, this next thing I want to say, I don't want people to take it wrong. I don't want to send the wrong message because, people misunderstand things sometimes. But
Yes.
the way I'm going to say it, I hope it comes out right. I want to compliment you on having coined that particular Latinized style of parranda music that you borrowed from Garifuna people and branded it with Caribbean dynamics. Um, can you show us a little bit of what I'm talking about? How you do that song "Tuagu Big Guitarra," with my guitar. That's the translation to those lyrics.
Yes,
I
yes.
want to show people what I'm talking about when I say that you coined that particular Latinized. You put that Latin touch in it, and it's so popular that Gil Harris Seven band in Belize and Techno band in Belize and many other bands have uh,
Yeah.
uh, copied the style. Can we hear a little bit about Tuagu Bigi Dara and then a little bit of the things that you have done in recordings because you have actually recorded it and you've made it your own. And with
So
all due
yeah,
respect to all Garifuna
yeah, of course.
producers and musicians, yeah.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Like I said, in music, basically, all of us, we we listen to all type of music and we pick up from everyone. From a little bit here, pick up a style from here, pick up a style, and you get to add a little more to it. It's not my own style. It's something, but we started adding more like like a little salsa type of thing, a little merengue. So a little more merengue than that, and then so stuff, just little stuff like that, and then um, we started adding. Well, the paranda that we started doing like ballet paranda, like adding little strings into it. And then of course we started adding certain things. I mean, they have some of those elements in previous recordings, but we started utilizing it more in our type of music. We started using like if I want to sound um, like Fantasia songs, like songs that was used in Malala Romantica, for example.
Right.
Yeah, so we started using some of those songs in the music, and at the same time we started playing some of the oldies and put in that style of paranda.
I really like that you were able to bring some of the oldies and made it into paranda style because I think you're the one that actually coined that style. You know what I mean? Can you play a little bit about that? Can you play some of Paul Nabor, paranda, and sing it, and then switch to one of those oldies that we're talking about?
Yeah, like so, like I mean, they like sang Tuago. I heard it, but this first time I heard it was in the Parandero album. That's the first time I heard it in that style, and that was something that Risen brought in and said, "Hey, what do you think about this song? Let's integrate it and just play it live." And we started doing like so little stuff like that. I mean, like I said, it's something that we just brought it in. I mean, it's something. It was there before in a certain way, but just the whole strings and the organ, the little phrase in organ that became popular now, basically. For example, like the organ, I heard those we used to hear a lot like Tita Manfloren's album, and then Uguru Band used to play, and then of course Honduras used a lot of the organ. But Honduras used to play a lot of the. Then we started adding it, into the paranda, a little slow version. Something elements like that. We started using it more in our type of music. So it became like a standard now, basically. And it wasn't much utilized it. Let's put it away, you know.
Right. No, fascinating, man. Fascinating. You make it sound so easy, but when it comes to playing the keyboard and backing up artists such as Aurelio Martinez or even Super G or Mojaba Flores, I mean, very strict people. I mean, these very strict
Oh yeah.
musicians who demand a lot from you. And so, how do you deal with that?
Well, that I took it as a challenge, basically. You know, when I started getting calls from them, and that's the keyboard player I want, you know, and I just, you know, I took it as a challenge. I did the best I can, you know. Basically, you know, they love what I was doing. They love that I could pick up those phrases, you know, really quick and memorize it, you know, and don't panic on stage. Basically, you know, that was one of the important thing for them. And right there, we just, you know, kept going, just do our best for ability. That's the key, you know?
Marlon, switching, we'll change the subject a little bit. I know your father is also a musician, a singer, and I have seen him perform right along with you, in especially singing ballads.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your dad.
So my dad, he's say when I came, he was I didn't even know he was a musician until I got here, basically, you know. So yeah, he used to sing. He loves ballads, you know. He plays a little percussion here and there. He loves cumbias, and that's where I kind of pick up, you know. After he, you know, I came in the story, I started picking up some songs, and I took over the family, basically the part of music, you know. So yeah, he I learned a lot from him. We both originals that we did. He used to write. I do the music and he write the lyrics. I come up with ideas how to sing, and he would, you know, he write. And one of our biggest song that, you know, Le Canto a Belice. Yo le canto a Belice, hermoso país que quiero.
Can you play that a little bit?
Yes,
I love that cumbia. That's nice.
Yeah, that cumbia was like I said, my dad wrote the lyrics. I did the music to that one. So yes, I haven't played in years. So so yeah, so those are the songs that he started bringing in. You know, for his love Belize. You know, he's not born in Belize. He's from Salvador, but he lived all his life in Belize and married Belizean, my mom, and, you know, Belizean kids. So yeah, so he that's his love, you know, his passion Belize. So that's some of the stuff that we did together, you know. And I learned a lot of him as far as writing music and, you know, lyrics wise. You know, so yeah, definitely a big impact in my life, you know.
Tell us a little bit about your family, your wife, the children. I know they play an important role in you developing as a musician. It was a drastic change from being single to being married. How were you able to handle that transition? And you did
Oh
it
yeah,
well.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, you know, when you're single, you know, music was just, well, it's still a hobby for me, but music wasn't. I didn't do it the professional way. I was, you know, they call me, hey, we have a party, you know, down the street, you know, we have rice and beans, we have something to drink, you know, we're a party. There you go, you know, I show my keyboard, I play all night, you know, party. That was it, you know. So, and not to say that I enjoy that, you know, of course, but, you know, after you get married, you know, you have to take things serious, you know. With me, music, I always take music serious. Was never in music for drinking and girls and stuff like that. And no, that wasn't me, you know. In fact, I was a shy guy. You know, I play the keyboard and I'm backstage chilling there, drinking my Coke, and that's it. You know, so for a long time, you know. So, yeah, and then basically, you know, when I got married, you know, it's responsibility. Basically, you have to schedule. So now, with me, gigs, it have to be really important gigs. Gigs that are worth it. Basically, you know, I won't say waste of time, you know, stuff like that. But I do have a standard and a certain kind of rate, you know, certain way of working music now. I mean, because time is really important, you know. So I'd rather not go, you know, waste my time somewhere when I could spend it with my kids, you know, or my wife. You know, so that to me is really important, you know.
Right. Your children, do they like music? Are they gonna be like you, or do you don't want them to be in the music business? What is the story there?
Well, if they like music, I'm gonna try to help them as much as I can. As far as I'm not a really good teacher, just to let you know. I don't have too much patience as far as teaching kids and stuff like that. But I'll try my best to if they want it, Of course, I'm not gonna push it and say this is what you want to do. If they want to, whatever they pick, I'll support everything, But of course, I'll teach them as much as And they love music, both of them. They put a pan in front of them and they'll play, they sing, they sing some Creole sound, the Latin sounds, the dance, that's their passion, And they love to see live bands. That's one of their biggest passion,
Beautiful, beautiful. Marlon, last time we were together celebrating your wife's birthday, and this is coming from my wife Cheryl. She wants me to ask you about your Garifuna grandmother. That you believe that there is a connection there with Garifuna. Tell us a little bit about that.
As far as at least what was brought up, was brought in family, and what we know of our grandmother, she was mixed Garifuna, and she was mixed with Indian, basically. The sad part of our family is there's a lot of secret stuff, like many families, stuff. So she met me basically because I was a baby when she was still around, and she didn't keep the culture basically as a part of the different side, strong. I'm not sure exactly what's the story behind that, but yeah, we do see it in a lot of our family. We have different complexions. We have they look like Garifuna, they look Indian, they look white, they look everything, as far as that. So maybe that's part of what's in my blood, basically, as far as that type of music, But I would love to find out more about my ancestors, basically.
Excellent. Now, let's go back a little bit to your exposure, the way you became one of the sought after keyboard players for Jamaican artists such as Pluto. Man, I could name a few of them, but maybe it should come from you. Who have you backed up internationally here in the United States? Jamaican artists, Trinidadian, or from Barbados, and then we could also mention Belizeans. But at this point, I'm interested in those Jamaican artists that you have backed up. Can you drop some names?
Yeah, so some lot of the from the early mid '90s, till days, promoters bring like Pluto Sherrington with Lord Laro, Calypso Rose, what's that? That's just a bunch of artists that I can't even remember without the paper, But yeah, all the artists that used to come to as far as Belizean production or even a Barbados production, they used to call the band to back them up, So we did many type of artists, like I said, through the years. It's a wide variety. That's apart from Belize side, La Ray-Ban, all those Barret Harry and all those artists that come, Super G and all those, So it's, through the years, many artists.
From some of the top Garifuna artists, I know you have backed up Aurelio Martinez because we did hire you for a gig, the Garifuna Street Fest, right at 48 and Hoover. You were one of the keyboard players to back him up. You also have backed up Mohaba Flores, Maimi Martinez, Super G, Reckless, Lloyd Augustine. Who else? So many.
Titiman Flores, apart from
Titiman.
Jess Flores, he was one of the guys that was started doing a lot of stuff with us when the band just started playing, concerts in Hollywood Park. He was their drummer, and he started singing a lot, So that's one of the guys that Jess. If you remember Jess, was one of the guys that we learned a lot from him, basically. Yes, it's a lot of artists. I haven't done much in the past. I would say 12 years, as far as, so I'm not up to date with new artists and stuff like that. But I do listen to some of the young guys,
Marlon, you are one of the few musicians from here, Los Angeles, who has maintained Caribbean Dynamics band throughout the years. How do you do it? I mean, I've seen bands come and go, and you still keep it together.
I wouldn't say keep it together because we don't have the original members. Of course, everything everything changed. Some people move on, some people move to Belize. So we just try to keep that style going. Any new members that come in, we try to basically bring in the same style, to, stay standard. Kind of a little picky as far as musicians who come through us, as far as And besides Caribbean Dynamics, then I started doing Dinámicos del Caribe, which is the Spanish version.
The Spanish version.
Yeah, of course, the Spanish version. So we when I'm in Spanish version, basically started doing more of the Spanish genre, the type of music, cumbia, salsa, merengue, and start bringing other musicians into the story, So that's the way Caribbean Dynamics keep going in different communities as far as well.
Thank you. I want to send a big shout out to Dr. Oliver Nathan Green. He is also a great producer and promoter of the Garifuna culture. He's actually watching live right now, and he is the person behind the Wanarawa documentary, which is available on DVD. So Marlon, you have recorded music, and have you registered some of the albums that you have recorded? I know you have great.
Yeah, when it comes to our original music, they're all registered. The album that made a big impact in Belize was, of course, the Papa Revive. Yeah. I think I lost you a little bit, Labuga. See you.
Hold on, Marlon. Don't hang up. Okay, we're back.
Yeah, I'm in.
We're back. So mention again, what was the album that made it big in Belize?
So it was to us it was a demo album. It was
a demo, right?
Yeah, definitely. It was we were planning to take a trip. We took an adventure to Belize in 2005, maybe around there. Decided everyone's gonna pitch in, buy your own tickets, and take a little vacation and try to do some gigs here and there. Knock doors, whatever you want to call it. So 2 weeks before that, we decided, hey, let's put a little demo, and when they ask us, we have to take something basically, So that's where Hot Party Vibes came out. Tuago, with collaboration with Nuru, with Rizen.
Tuago Biggie Dara. That song was there, right?
Yes, that was there. We played like Joe Grind, Dankeman song.
Joe Grind.
Like I said, some of the songs, Mr. Bana, which is from Fenton Bana. The original. This original we heard from there, and it was just a demo to us. It was a demo. We took like 50 copies maybe, and then went to the radio stations, and we were promoting our event that we were gonna have, and gave it away, and that was it basically. That's
basically like your business card, really. When you do a demo, that's a business card, right?
Yes, definitely.
That gave you the fame and of course the status that you have today as a great keyboard player and as a great producer of great music. You pretty much I admire your touch, man. Every time you hear a cumbia song or maybe a ballad or whatever, you make it your own. You do a cover song and you put that taste of it, Marlon Alegria stamp on it, and I love it. I just love the fact that that you are able to do that, and it's well accepted. Everybody loves it. So definitely moving on with the next question. Who is your go-to person when you're inspired and you're producing wrenching music, and then you have doubts of that particular song or the lyrics? Who is your go-to person?
I go to Google. That's I guess one of my weaknesses. Let's put it this way: when it comes to lyrics, I have the idea, but put everything together. I put it my way. I try to. I won't say perfectionist, but I try to for whatever I'm writing to make sense. It's like a story, So if the story doesn't make sense to me, it's not right. So, and I guess that happens to a lot of musicians when they're composing or arranging music. You keep changing things around here and there. As far as lyrics, I try my best to do. I go through books and let me see if I'm pronouncing the word right. Or just come up with different ideas. But yeah, I don't have no one in specific who I go to. As far as that.
The other day, I was DJing there for your wife's birthday party. I played a song that a band from Honduras was playing, and you told me, man, I love that arrangement, and you jump on it, and you picked it up from there. You were able to continue to play. It was like a moment of inspiration. You felt that song. It was actually a No Woman No Cry from Bob Marley, right? But
Oh
it was
yeah,
in the
yeah, definitely.
cumbia style.
Yeah, definitely.
And you just asked me for it. You said who plays it, and I told you it was a band from New York, from Honduras in New York.
Yes.
And I forget the name of it right now, but that gave you that inspiration. You got on the keyboard, called your band, and you started playing again.
Yeah, yeah. Played live. Yeah, yeah. That's like I said, we all get inspired, by different musicians, different bands. We hear stuff, and as a musician or as an audience, basically, you love certain things. You know what I mean? You love this. I love this songs. And you start to, I'd say copy. Because people say, oh, you copy from this, or you copy from that. You put your own taste into it. Listen to certain songs and add. You know what I mean? Um, and of course, one of the biggest bands we were inspired as far as doing non-stop album was Byron Lee. Of course, the whole Belize, Caribbean and South by Byron Lee. So we started, and we did play alongside Byron Lee many times. And we picked up a lot of those, certain songs. Like as far as when it comes to the drum machine, the MPC, the master, the guy behind those songs, those rhythms, is Dr. Rhythm. Dr. Rhythm was behind from the initially. Hey, let's do this, pop, pop, pop. So part of the rhythm and the style of dynamics, it's a joint thing. Everyone pitching a little bit. Guitar player put his own style, bass player come in his own style, and we basically just a whole thing. So I would say I'm the, so all of us just put together, and then just that's where the song came out.
Wow. What places have you traveled to perform? And what are some of the places you would like to travel to be able to perform either with Caribbean Dynamics or as a keyboard player or as a solo artist?
Yeah. We done Belize, we done Guatemala, well, border with Belize, basically we did a performance there. We did New York, we did Chicago, Houston, Miami many times. I would love to travel out of place, Honduras, Livingston, those places right there. You love, some music, Hopefully one of these days, no, it's a different. I travel with family now. So
Well,
take as
my
a
birthday is
vacation.
coming up. My birthday is coming up on March 9, and we're planning to do a nice gig in Puerto Barrios. So we'll be calling you, man, for next 2024. We are planning to bring Mojaba Flores along
Wow.
with Mando Ballesteros. So if you're down for the gig, man, we could hire you as the main keyboard player, and then we'll bring Sonny D from Honduras to play the bass
Oh,
for you.
that's my buddy right there. Yeah, definitely would love the opportunity. Definitely, yes.
We need to talk. We'll talk business, man.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
um, where do you hope to see your band Caribbean Dynamics in the near future, and what are some of the obstacles that you have to overcome to be able to get there?
Um, I think one of the most difficult things, especially in LA, is musician wise. We're limited musicians. We don't have enough musicians, and the few that we have, I mean, to be honest, so there is not too much discipline. Not too much discipline. So at this point in my life, if I'm dealing with any musician, it has to be discipline. Like I said, we don't play no games no more. We've all grown, so we have to be strict and get and stuff. So hopefully in the future, we have some new generation come in, and serious musicians, and we'll try to develop that standard again, as far as music. Yeah, but it's not easy to keep, especially the Caribbean side and the paranda and punta, that style alive in California is a difficult thing, honestly.
Right. Okay. Great. Great. What advice would you give to an upcoming artist who may want to get into this business, whether it's a musician who plays an instrument or someone who is a vocalist?
Basically, advice I would say, uh, practice as much as you can. Take music serious, and as far as gigs, have a standard. Do contracts. Do all details. Just don't take the gig because they make it. Oh yeah, nice gig. Have this and have that, and then show up and what I mean. you spend more than what you're going to you gain. You know what I mean? As far as the price, what they pay you, I mean, it takes a while for you to develop something, develop something, and then you can say, I charge this, and they'll pay. Initially they'll bargain with you. You'll have to, as I said, develop your talent, develop your music, and set a standard. Don't take any stuff basically. Don't go with the moment basically. When you're hot right now, let me go with the moment, and just be humble basically. That's the key word. Be humble. Don't go there and I'm an ego and stuff like that. So that's at least one of the things I would advise.
Marlon, I wanted to send a big shout out to my sister-in-law Jessica Norales, who is tuning in out there in East Coast somewhere. Jessica, it says, Marlon, you are a phenomenal artist. Thank you for gracing us with your talent. You are a blessing.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And then I have a question from my. How did you link up with Grupo Fenix del Petén from Guatemala? When they come to Los Angeles, they come and look for you, man. And what was that connection? When did it start?
That's funny.
You know what? Before you answer that, let me give people a little background on who Grupo Fenix is. Grupo Fenix is a Caribbean band based in Flores Petén in Guatemala. And these guys are magnificent. They have a full band with horn section, percussions, 2 or 3 keyboard players, and they're just phenomenal. And they play everything from reggae, soca to merengue to cumbia, but their forte is old school Caribbean music.
Yeah,
what is your connection there?
So I mean, I kind of listen here and there some of their music, through the years. Basically, I was growing up. I was always a fan, but never got a chance to see them live for the last 2 years, basically. And the way was, it was a mutual friend, basically, that he was part of the organization who was bringing them. And he knew I had a sound system, so he called me and, went to rent some system. And that's the first time we officially, went, behind the scenes type of thing and met the guys. And had they were really welcoming, as far as that part, And then this year when he came back, I had a chance to go see him again, and they were awesome. Basically, I love their.
They are.
They're really good band, really good band. Yes. Definitely.
Marlon, who is your bucket list as far as to back up someone, famous artist? Who would you like to play for as a keyboardist? Who is your dream musician?
I think as far as a musician, I would say Marco Antonio Solis, one of the biggest artists. It'll be
who?
Marco Antonio Solis, like Bookies.
Marco Antonio Solis, El Buki. Wow.
Yeah, which I met some of the musicians before, but that would be a dream. At least a jam session. I won't say concert. Jam session with them would be fun as far as and hopefully I get to meet them soon. That's something I grew up listening in a lot of ballads and stuff like that. So for that, far as Punta, I played with the best. I played, Aurelio Martinez, one of the, I would love to play alongside Casabe and those bands and stuff like that. Just like I said, I enjoy listening to that type of music, and you'd be honored to basically be invited to have a jam session. Like when I go to Belize, I played with Bilhario 7. I gave an opportunity to go on stage with them, and Super Furia and those guys. I enjoy that type of thing. People at least the bands I grew up listening to as a child, and I get to play alongside them. It's to me it's a dream come true in a way. Definitely.
Wow, that's deep. I've been thinking about during the time that you were talking about the number of musicians that have come out of Dangriga. Very good musicians, lots of them, old and young, and the majority who have planted the seed. They're getting old, right? They're like the Mohababs, the Maimi Martinez, the Roy, the Pen Cayetano, the Chico Ramos. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And being able to get wonderful, talented musicians such as Super G, Reckless, Lloyd Augustine. Man, it's just too many to mention.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
how did they do it? What do you think, in your professional opinion? How were they able to accomplish that? Why Dangriga?
Oh man, that's the heart of Punta, Arifuna music. You know what I mean? I love the type of music. The old school stuff. I grew up listening to this like the other generation like Asiatic. Uh, Super G, of course. Punta Rebels those days. In fact, if you know, I don't know, but my cousin Juan Bando, one of the members from Punta Alo Bando is also.
That's your cousin?
That's my cousins. Yeah, both of them.
Oh man,
So
talented
so I'm
musician, producer.
and I guess through when they initially when Mohabal with the man would meet me, they'll say, you know what, you remind me of the boy that Abali who played keyboard back then. I'll be like, and they would say the name, and I'm like, yeah, that's my cousin. That's like, no wonder you guys. So yeah, so like I said, those are the guys. When I was initially starting, I was watching them rehearse. So I was seeing like doing all stuff. I haven't had a chance to play with them yet. I met them many times, but we haven't had a chance to sit down and jam session. But yeah, definitely. As far as the old school musicians, I guess they put the heart and passion into the music, and those songs are classic, that will never die. Those music, those Titiman, all those top music that you play right now and still sound fresh to me, you know what I mean? But I guess they took their time to develop the song, the style, as far as lyrics, the story behind it. So I think that's really important. To me, do an album quick, pop. I mean, it's gonna be hard for a little bit, and after that, it's gone. You want to create music. Basically, what I love for them is like you hear from Super G, those classic songs that you can play right now, and straight to dance, basically. So you want. That's what I love as far as the classic, and that's saying right now they're not writing that type of music. There's a lot of artists doing that right now, but I don't see a lot at the moment. As far as that.
Can you, before we go, Marlon, give us a little bit of a medley? I know you have played for Chico Ramos, and I know you admire also some of the iconic keyboard leads, such as the one that Chagu used to do with Meredith Bay. You know what I mean? Those
Yeah.
nice keyboard, man. Can you give us a little bit of that flavor? Whatever you want to do, a little intros or whatever. We just wanna. I want people to appreciate your talent, man. Those who don't know who Marlon Alegria is.
Yeah. So like I'm listening to all those guys and playing with those guys. I pick up like Miami when Miami, started. All that kind of stuff, that's a lot of stuff that we pick up, from all of us pick up from Sargua and as the Song Incorporated, all those bands before us, and LA we have all this guys Delson Sensation, did an awesome job as far as putting, some of those songs, so we pick up a lot of those songs from them, and besides the 90s eras with
Wow.
songs and yeah, all those songs, we grew up listening to.
Wow.
So, and didn't have no option to learn the songs. Basically, you have artists coming up. Okay, 10 songs for this artist. You learn the song, and here was 10 for it. So, yeah, that's something we love to do, and just.
How about a little bit of Mohabab?
Mohbab. So, stuff like that,
Man, that's beautiful. How about a little bit of ballads? Algo de Bookies, something from Bookies, the songs that you grew up listening to that you love so much.
Yeah, so
We all do.
listen. Yeah, and in fact, I end up recording several ballads in some of our albums. We do. But you listen to like. So listen, I said, and
Wow.
then later on we start doing the bachata and merengue, everything, basically a little everything. So once you get the full dynamics, you get. I'm surprised you. I'll do even a tucanazo in between, and so I think it's just as a musician or as a band, you have to start to you know step away a little bit from the circle. Let's put it that way, So you start to expand, picking up more stuff, and it just helps you, basically, It's help you as far as growing in the industry, basically.
Marlon, if somebody wants to hire you, contact you or Caribbean Dynamics, do you have a number that you want to put out there so I could put it on the screen?
Yeah, definitely. You get me at 323-774-2301.
23 what?
2301.
01. Okay.
Yeah. And you can also find us under CaribbeanDynamicsMusic.com.
Okay. Oh, you know what? The number didn't come out complete. Let me do it again. Area code 323-774-2301.
2301.
Got it. All right. Let me post it on the screen again. For those of you interested in getting in touch with Marlon or Caribbean Dynamics, the number to call is area code 323-774-2301. And birthdays, any type of celebration, graduations, or any big production that you're interested in, or if you just want to serenade your wife or your spouse, whoever, Marlon is available with a one-man band or with a full Caribbean Dynamics.
Show
right?
Full bell, whatever you want, we're here. But yeah, thank you, Labuga, for the opportunity. Like I said, this is something we love, doing, and we all with respect we do the type of music that we do, and we work with different, communities, Mexico and everything. So this our passion basically we do with love, for as a respect for you guys, So definitely,
thank you, man. I appreciate the time you gave us. I am trying to put your number again on the screen with the full name of the band so people are able to see and get the entire picture. Somebody just text a message right here for you. You're so versatile that you you do an excellent job playing the keyboard for Ideal, Marconi Star, and Gahfu back in 1996. I think it was during Gahfu's event. Yeah, that was that was beautiful. How are you able to transition to different styles of music? That's what my wife Shirley is asking.
I guess you pick up everything, and then besides the stuff I pick up with Marconi and all those guys, I pick up a lot of their style, and they're good teachers too, because they will we practice. Okay, do it this way, do it that way, and you pick up and I guess it got easy for me to switch from cumbia to salsa, merengue. As far as the live thing, it's more of just observing what people love. You try this, if it doesn't work, try the next style. At least we have that option. This transition is pretty easy for me now, as far as that.
Thank you, Marlon. Is there anything that you want to say? Something that you would like to tell the audience listening before we let you go?
That's just basically as far as I would love the people to support live music. It's really important to you have a lot of options. We all work together. See, as far as my concept is, we put our best, compete against each other, work as brothers, as musicians. It's like I said, it's limited. So all of us musicians appreciate the support that you guys give us. You have a little party, hey, call us. Love to see a guitar player and some stuff. Definitely we do have smaller budget. 3-piece band, 4-piece band, and basically just thanks for your support through the years, and hopefully continue to work and support. If you don't hire me, then hire another band is fine. I don't take it personally, but just keep going. Keep going. Keep going as far as live music. I love that.
Beautiful. Marlon, before you go, can you let us go with a little bit of Donkey Man on the keyboard?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so.
Thank you, man. Good night. Appreciate the time, and man, thank you for letting us into your home and behind the scenes of Caribbean Dynamics and Marlon Alegria. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
All right. Bye bye.